Hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's DJ Wacky, and yeah, I'm back with another Apex Legends topic video for you guys over here. Now, um, what I want to say quickly, guys, just get this firstly started. I want to say, I've done previous vid ideas around buffing up some of the individual legends that we've obviously got in the game, and you know what? To this day, I still get a lot of good feedbacks on them vids, and I still got a lot of people commenting on them in particular videos. So previously, I've done like buff idea concepts for Rampart, Mirage, Revenant, and what I do like about them videos, it gets a lot of people talking, sharing ideas. The community does come together, and everyone has their own thoughts and sets about when it comes to buff ideas and like amping up some of their favorite characters or just improving the overall game. So I kind of like it when people do that. So it's great to see a lot of people still coming on board, even though these vids happened months ago. That you guys still come on board and show some appreciation and some love for the content that I created. With that being said, guys, I wanted to look on good old Fusey over here for some time now, and you know what? He had a bit of rework in Season 9, so it kind of made me pause the vid a bit. However, as of last week, Respawn dropped in the win and loss ratio for each character selection, and basically, Fuse, unfortunately, has come out on the bottom once again, just behind Rampart. Now, before all you Fuse mains, comment over here calling me a knucklehead, saying, Fuse doesn't need to be improved, etc., bear in mind, guys, this is just me working on the win and loss ratio over here. Each individual legend, I keep on saying this, I stress this enough, is deadly in comparison to who's using them. At the end of the day, you might like Fuse's gameplay style. You might be able to work with Fuse a lot more, and that's cool and all that stuff. But this video is just me sharing some ideas that can hopefully improve his tier selection list and get him a bit more wins out there. At the same time, you might feel like Fuse is good enough already, which, like I said, that's fine. But that's just what this video is. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of me sharing some ideas. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get it started. Now, firstly, guys, we're going to look into some of the passive abilities over here that Fuse has. And the first suggestion that I come up with is for Fuse's explosion to be able to detonate a lot, well, pretty much instantly when it gets dropped in onto the enemy. So, obviously, the frag, the arc start, and the knuckle cluster included with that needs to explode on impact. Now, the reason why I say this is important is because it kind of works with Fuse's law. Obviously, it's known as the explosive enthusiastic, so I feel like he should be able to target that enemy a lot more accurately. He knows when the explosion is going to go off. And most legends can escape, some frag grenades being chucked at them. If you end up not sticking them, you can see that the frag obviously sign is over there, so you get out of that cover area, get out of the danger zone, so you take less of an impact. And that kind of ruins it a bit for Fuse as well, because you're not really doing much damage, and at the end of the day, you're wasting crucial, precious grenades. And yeah, that is something that obviously I feel like can easily be worked with, and it's just one of those things that I think people need to realize that legends that are out there like Wraith can obviously use her ability to escape some fire, some deadly fire out there, and then Octane with his stim as well. There's just so many ways around getting out of an explosion, and I think with Fuse dropping in some explosion and hitting it hard and fast instantly is going to cause a lot of mayhem and destruction. With that being said, guys, this is my second passive idea that I've got over here. And to be fair, this one idea has been flying around the community a while as well. But I would like to see Fuse enabled to carry 3 grenades per inventory slot rather than 2. Now, if you're like me, I consider myself now an old school Apex Legend player. I've actually started playing the game quite heavily in Season 2. And around that season, people were able to carry 2 grenades before they updated it. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think around Season 5 is when you were only able to carry 1 grenade per inventory slot at that point. With Fuse being introduced on the game, they obviously re-added that ability in particular for him where he can carry 2 grenades. However, I feel like most people end up carrying 6 grenades maximum with Fuse. You're gonna have 2 Arcstar, 2 frags, 2 thermites, and literally you can use 6 on one team. Like if you're talking about 3 people and spreading out 2 grenades onto each individual members of the team, that's that gone, and you only focus fire on one team. When it comes to obviously multiplayer games like Battle Royale, there's a lot of concerns involved, and you need to obviously be worried about that third party situation. At the end of the day, frags are useful to both be offensive and defensive as well. Maybe you need to escape the combat. Maybe it's getting too heated for your team over there. Finding a couple of frags to kind of distance yourself from the enemy team is quite useful, and I think a lot of people kind of subconsciously do that anyway. I mean, like I mentioned, with 6 grenades, or even if you end up carrying 8, at the end of the day, you don't want to use too much backpack space, but you're going to be able to blow through that all, and I think Fuse should have that ability where it allows him to carry just that extra slot. So it kind of gives him a bit more firepower to keep him going on for the later on in the gameplay, so you can kind of pick up more grenades. Let me know what you think about that idea, because I think this one is kind of like 50-50 on most people's mind, but I'd like to see in the comment section what you guys think of that. Next up, guys, let's discuss his tactical ability, and I can only think of one over here. I would like his knuckle cluster to kind of stun the enemies just for a few short seconds, so it's not too OP, and at the same time for the radius to increase. Now, the knuckle cluster was actually reworked in Season 9, where it gets reloaded up every 20 seconds, and now you carry 2 rather than just the 1 knuckle cluster. But I would like to see just a bit more being done, because at the end of the day, in my eyes, it feels like the Arc Star can do more than the Knuckle Cluster, and it should be vice versa, because the Arc Star has a better radius and can stun enemies and temporarily freeze them, whilst the Knuckle Cluster cannot do that. So it should be the opposite. I'd like to see the Knuckle Cluster do more. If you can increase the radius so it can obviously kind of hold out all enemies' teams. Let's just say there's 3 people and you hit a perfect knuckle cluster and it just spams out and hits all 3. That is great. That's entrapping your enemy, and that could be quite useful for your teammates to push along. I think instantly that will buff up Fuse's overall gameplay and tier selection a bit more, just because of that entrapment that you can involve in that. You might think that might be a bit too OP, which at that point Respawn can look into it and maybe not give him 2 knuckle cluster, maybe just 1. But I think that stun ability is quite vital. Finally, guys, I'm just going to move on to the ultimate ideas over here. So the first one that I've come up with, I would like to see Fuse being able to fire about 250 meters away. Currently fires 200 meters. And for the Mother Lord to drop in a lot more quicker. Now, if you're like me, you can hear the Mother Lord a mile away. You know, if you've got your headsets on, you can hear it coming. And to be honest, in a game like Apex Legends, where it's so fast, people can move from in and out, you know, the position they were within 2-3 seconds easily, especially with certain characters as well. Sometimes you fire away the old Mother Lord, and by the time it lands, the enemy team's no longer there. Therefore, it's useful. So it's just a big pile of fire of nothing over there. And I feel like that needs to be combated on. Yeah, the closer the enemy are, the quicker the Mother Lord does land. However, I think even it still needs to be increased, so it kind of does that impact and makes it more dangerous for your enemy team more instantly. And therefore, it doesn't feel like you wasted that ultimate as well. And this gets me around to my final idea over here. I've got a shout out of Reddit News over here who kind of gave me the inspiration of this idea. He's called Ryu is creator. I've shared his idea on my link on my description on this video below. But basically, I would like to see Fuse have a little bit of a signature on that Ring of Fire added in over there, showing a bit of, you know, who's the boss in this Battle Royale over here. So if you can see over here on the concept, I've got the Ring of Fire on the left hand side, rated below. I've added an F over there for Fusey. And basically, that is going to equal more entrapment, more danger, and more burn damage overall in time. So the bleed effect will likely hit a lot more people. Because at the end, like I mentioned before, guys, there are legends that can easily get out of that Ring of Fire. Wraith can get herself out. Octane could jump at that. Valkyrie can now fly over. Horizon as well. It's not great, and even Jibby can shield up in that Ring of Fire, and you're not going to get into Jibby's shield because ultimately you're going to damage yourself by running in. So giving that little signature mark might put Fusey a bit more dangerous, might give you more chance to hit that burn effect, and yeah, just cause overall a lot more rampage. Let me know what you think of this idea, guys. I think it's quite unique. I love the concept, and hopefully, you know, it might be something that Respawn will incorporate. Anyway, guys, that's all the ideas that I've got over here. That's the 5 ideas. So comment below if you got any of your thoughts on that at all. Hopefully, you guys have appreciated the content. And like I said, don't forget to hit that like button and, you know, comment on the channel below. If you happen to be new over here, come subscribe, people. You know, it'd be great to see more people on board. I'm gonna try to, you know, want to get up to 2,000 subscribers hopefully very soon. So you guys can help out with that. Just come on, hit that button below. And like I said, I do a lot more Apex Legend content. Guys, I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the footage as per usual. There's not really much left in this gameplay, but hopefully, you know, you have appreciated the content and the video. Anyway, guys, it has been your lad DJ Wacky. I will see you all next time. Peace up.
Oh my god, it's worse. Like, what? What are they doing? Like, what are they doing? Like, why?